Good morning, students. Today our topic is de Broglie explanation of Bohr's second postulate. So what is the Bohr's second postulate? The angular momentum of the electron around the nucleus is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. So the angular momentum of the orbiting electron around the nucleus is quantized. Another definition for that. So the both are the same. So what is that? The orbital angular momentum of the electron, that is nothing but Ln. It is indicated by letter Ln is equal to nh by 2 pi. The orbital angular momentum of the electron is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi is the Bohr's second postulate. So MVN Rn. So here the electron is revolving in nth orbit. So nh by 2 pi. So here it is the positive charge, in that the electron is revolving. That means the orbiting electron around the nucleus is equal to the is quantized. That means is equal to the integral multiples of h by 2 pi. But how to get it, this formula is unable to explained by, the complete explanation is not given by Bohr. So but this puzzle is solved by Louis de Broglie, a French physicist, in the year after 10 years of this postulates. So after 10 years, so first of all, this given by the Bohr. After 10 years of this given postulate, he can give the explanation regarding this postulate. So what is the de Broglie theory? When a particle is associated, here the particle is associated with the wave is called matter wave. Particle is associated with the wave is called as the matter wave. That means it is the particle, you have to associate it with the wave. So particle is associated with the wave is called as the matter wave. At that time, he can give the relation between the wave nature to particle nature, that is equal to lambda means wave nature and h by p, it is a particle nature. So he can give the relation between wave nature to particle nature. So based on this one, he can explain the Bohr's second postulate. So if suppose an electron is revolving in stationary orbits, at that time the electron is taken as in the form of a standing wave. If suppose you have to take a string, so it is the string, if you plucked, so if you disturb this one, so it can do the vibrations like this. Already you learned it is in first chapter. At resonance condition, we are obtaining the stationary waves, so that means a standing waves. At that time, the total distance traveled by this wave is taken as, at that time, the total traveled distance is equal to integral multiples of wavelength. The total distance traveled by this wave is equal to integral multiples of wavelength. The same phenomena I can apply here. So if suppose it is a positive charge, so here it is the electron is revolving around the nucleus in any orbit. The orbital number is equal to the orbit number is equal to n. You have to take, and if suppose this electron is doing, so this electron is doing like as a standing waves, like as this man. So standing waves means like this. after reflection. So at the standing waves, the condition is at the ends of these poles we are getting the nodes, and this is the antinode, and at the ends are the nodes. So that is a condition. So at that time, what is that? The total distance traveled here. So here, what is the total distance traveled in a circle is nothing but what is the? That is nothing but the circumference of the circle. Then you have to apply the phenomena. So this one is analog to this one. At that time, the circumference of the distance here 2 pi Rn is equal to n lambda. Same phenomena I can apply here. So the distance traveled by the particle wave along the circumference of the orbit should be equal to the integral multiples of wavelength. What is that? The distance traveled by the particle wave, this is the particle wave, along the circumference of the orbit should be equal to the integral multiples of the wavelength. So this one you have to apply it in the de Broglie hypothesis. What is the de Broglie hypothesis? Lambda equal to h by p. So h by p, the momentum of the electron in nth orbit is equal to mvn. So this one you have to substitute in the above equation. So 2 pi Rn is equal to n, lambda is equal to h by mvn. So by interchanging this one, so mvn, take this side, mvn Rn is equal to nh by 2 pi. So this way we are getting the formula. So is explained by Louis de Broglie. So it is the explanation simple. Only 2 steps are there. So here these waves are stationary waves. At that time the circumference of the distance is equal to integral multiples of wavelength. So at that time, what is the wavelength of this electron? Lambda equal to it is a matter wave, nothing but lambda equal to h by p, h by mvn. You have to substitute the lambda. Then what is the value you are getting? 2 pi Rn is equal to nh by mv. So mv, take this side, mvn Rn equal to nh by 2 pi. It is a quantization rule of the Bohr. So then next topic is in that drawbacks of the Bohr's model. What are the drawbacks? So especially this theory is applicable for only single electron. So it is applicable to hydrogenic atoms. Hydrogenic atoms means if suppose singly ionized helium also it is applicable, and doubly ionized lithium is also applicable. That means singly ionized means helium also having single electron in their outermost orbit. Doubly ionized means lithium also having single electron. So it is applicable for hydrogenic atoms. So that means only single electron in the outermost orbit. So those atoms are applicable for the Bohr model. So it is applicable to hydrogenic atoms. So it can be extended even to electrons atoms such as helium. It cannot be extended. So only hydrogenic atoms are applicable, but remaining other atoms this theory is now unable to explain. So orbits were taken as circular. But according to Sommerfeld, these orbits are elliptical. So this one is it is also one of the drawback, and it could not explain the fine structure in spectral line. So it is one of the drawback. It does not explain the arrangement and distribution of electrons in an atom. So how to distribute it? So in first orbit and second orbit, third orbit, already you know. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, like that. So that arrangement is now unable to explain by Bohr's model. It is one of the drawback. And this theory does not take into account the wave properties of the electron. Okay, it is another drawback, and it is These spectral lines, the splitting of spectral lines in presence of magnetic field and in presence of electric field, that is unable to explain this model. So that is nothing but Zeeman effect and Stark effect. Splitting of spectral lines in presence of magnetic field, splitting of spectral lines in presence of electric field, like those phenomena is unable to explain by this model, and it does not explain the doublets in the sodium vapor lamp. So it is one of the experiment in sodium vapor lamp. So we are getting the doublets in the sodium vapor lamp, 5890 angstrom and 5893 angstroms. So this doublet phenomena is unable to explain. And here nucleus was taken as a stationary, but this nucleus also rotating its their own axis. This phenomena is also unable to explain. So these are the drawbacks of the Bohr's model. These are the drawbacks of the Bohr's model. Example 13.5. A 10 kg satellite circles Earth once every 2 hours. So in an orbit having the radius 8,000 km, assuming that Bohr's angular momentum postulate applied to satellite just as it does to an electron in the hydrogen atom, find the quantum number of the orbit of the satellite. So what is the Bohr's second postulate? The angular momentum of the revolving electron is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. Already h value, 2 pi value already you know. And the mass of the satellite is given and the radius is given. But what is the velocity? What is the velocity you have to derive. So what is the velocity is equal to? So in case of circular orbit, velocity is equal to distance by time. What is the distance in circular? So 2 pi rn, it is the circumference. And how much time t is given? It is a 2 hours. 2 hours means 7,200 seconds. So you have to substitute the Vn in the above equation. What is the orbital angular momentum? mvn rn is equal to nh by 2 pi. So in that n is equal to 2 pi m rn by h. So 2 pi m rn upon h into Vn. Vn means velocity is equal to distance, 2 pi rn upon time. Again 2 pi rn upon time. So here 2 pi rn is common. That means 2 pi rn whole square into m upon h into t. So it is a formula. 2 pi rn whole square into m into divided by t into h. So all these values are given. You have to substitute. At that time we are getting the expression for the n is equal to 5.3 into 10 to the power of. So the orbital number will be very large. That's why. So at that time you have to approach from quantum to the classical. So at that time this phenomena you have to extend it to the classical physics. Example 13.4. According to classical electromagnetic theory, calculate the initial frequency of the light emitted by the electron revolving around a proton in hydrogen atom. So you have to calculate the frequency. You have to calculate the frequency of the hydrogen atom in initial. Initial means it is the first orbit. So what is the velocity is equal to of the first orbit? V1 is equal to, so 2 pi rn r1 upon time. So then 1 by t is equal to here. 1 by t is equal to v by 2 pi r1. It is the v1. So 1 by t is nothing but here the frequency. Frequency is equal to v by 2 pi r. So v already you calculated the expressions. So v is equal to 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second, 2 pi r. So then what is the frequency? Approximately it is equal to 6.6 into 10 to the power of 15 hertz. Next, prove that the ionization energy of hydrogen atom is equal to 13.6 electrovolts. So the energy function, already the energy function is equal to minus 13.6 z square upon n square, where z is the its total number of positive charges, and here n is its outermost orbit number. N is equal to here outermost orbit number. So in case of hydrogen atom, so it is a 1s1, so centrally one positive charge and here only one electron. So at that time z is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1 for centrally positive, and here it is revolving in 1s1 means first orbit. So here n is the first orbit number, where n is the orbit number, z is the total positives. So z is equal to 1, n is equal to 1. If suppose we have to take the lithium, so lithium means, so the atomic number of the lithium z is equal to here 3. Z is equal to here 3. So centrally 3, proton number is the atomic number. So it is the first orbit is filled with 2 electrons and outermost having the 1 electron. So at that time n is equal to here you have to take as the 2 and z is equal to you have to take as the 3. So in case of the hydrogen atom, so minus 13.6 z atomic number is equal to here 1 square by n is equal to 1. So how much ionization energy of the hydrogen atom is equal to 13.6 electrovolts. So in case of the ionization energy of the lithium atom, is equal to minus 13.6 z square. What is that? Z square upon n square. Z means what is the atomic number of the lithium is equal to here 3 square upon, so orbit number is equal to 1s2, 2s2. In second orbit having 1 electron, so the orbital number is equal to n is equal to 2 minus 13.6 into 9 upon, so 2 2s are 4, 8. So it is a value you have to calculate. We are getting the value 30.2 electrovolts. And the next problem, the wavelength of the first member of the Lyman series equal to 1216 angstrom. Calculate the wavelength of the second member of the Balmer series. Already, what is the Balmer series means, where to where it can already you have to calculate all these series. So once you have to do practice, okay, any doubts, okay, you can make a WhatsApp to me. Bye.